So I've had a couple people ask me how I am spinning my dog fur yarn. I have that right here. So my skein is getting to kind of a nice size. So basically all I'm doing is twisting this around itself. You don't really need a drop spindle because you're not using it like a drop spindle. The thing with dog fibers is that they're really short, so you can't really spin them like you would normal yarn, unless you're mixing in other fibers. I know a lot of people mix in, I think alpaca or llama. I'm no expert, so that's, you know, up in the air. But all I'm doing is simply just twisting it and then adding in more yarn as I twist. And then I wrap it around the skein, and then when I'm done, loop it back around itself, and it just hangs out there until I'm ready to spin again. I would recommend having a decent amount of fur to work with already if you're doing just dog fur. The reason for that is you have a lot and you think you have a lot, and then you start spinning it and you're like, oh, I really don't have a lot. So get enough that you know you can work with, and then yeah, I store it in a bag so it doesn't go everywhere and drive my partner crazy. And then this hangs out in there too, but just note that the fibers are going to stick to everything. So I'll show you how I start it and how I keep spinning it. Okay, so to start, I'm going to unloop my yarn here. If you were just starting, actually maybe I'll show that to you first. So when you have your fibers, if you have long fibers, like if your dog fur is a bit longer, you're going to want to do what's called carding the fur, and that's just getting all of the fibers in the same direction. Because my dog's fur is so short, I'm kind of able to do this as I'm pulling it to twist it. But for carding fur, what you can do is take 2 slicker brushes, and you're gonna take the fur and put it on the slicker brush and brush them in opposite directions, and that'll align everything in the same way. So then once you have your fur, what you're gonna do, and this is actually a bad chunk of fur, let me get something better. Okay, here's a good little section. So you can see these are already kind of aligned. So to start, you're gonna kind of start just twisting it like this. And this first section is gonna get really twisted. And I promise you this first bit is not going to look nice. That is okay. Because you'll get better as you go, and it'll even out. Okay, so you just have your first little section. This is why wrapping it around a stick kind of helps. What you can also do is tie a piece of thread to this and wrap that thread around the stick, and that kind of gives you a start. And then once you have this, you just kind of keep adding in yarn like this. Hopefully you can see this good. I took a chunk of that yarn, and I'm just adding it in and twisting it, and you kind of slowly pull away, and that's what creates that yarn. So then once you have it on your skein, you're gonna twist it, get it real tight. Some of this came undone, so I'm going to just tighten it up real quick here. If you don't twist it tight enough, or if your fibers are too short, your thread is going to be, or your yarn is going to be very brittle or fragile. I guess brittle's not the right word, but it's going to break apart easily. That's why people like to use longer fibers. So, you know, Husky fur might not be the best option, but it's what I have to work with, and I have a lot of it, so I thought I'd give it a try. So yeah, once you have a decent amount of thread, you're literally just twisting. And I don't like to grab too big of a chunk at a time. If it's too big, things kind of start twisting up on you too early, and it just doesn't work out as nice. So What I'm going to do with this thread here is once I have it all twisted up, I'm actually going to ply it, so it'll be 2 layers of yarn, so it'll be twice as thick, and I'll set the yarn. There's special stuff you can do that kind of helps keep the fibers in place, and then I don't know what I'm making with it yet, so once I get to about that length, I wrap it around so that way it's not unraveling on you, and then you just keep on going. You just twist till the end of time. And there is going to be variation because you're working with natural fibers. As you do this more, you'll probably get better at it. Probably better than me. But yeah, pretty easy. The important thing is going to be setting that yarn. It's a liquid that you wash it in, and then just making sure that everything's nice and tight. And then when I am done for the day, put all of my extra fur back in my bag. I try to twist the end as much as possible to help it not come undone. And then what you do, or what I do, is hold up the yarn here, twist it around, and loop it through. Don't pull it super tight because it'll break, but that just helps it from unraveling. So pretty easy. You know, it's not going to be yarn that you can make a super durable Afghan with, but just something fun you can do with your dog's fur.